Welcome everybody to a look at a new release from Indicator. It's another box set focused on the genre of film noir. It's the sixth one that they've released now after 5 releases in the Columbia Noir collection, and now we are moving on to Universal Noir. The first of hopefully at least 5, because we had 5 of the Columbia Noir ones, so hopefully we'll get 4 more of these. But yeah, this is another chunky and extremely loaded release. So yeah, there's only going to be 6,000 of these. So get your hands on them as quick as possible because they usually sell out quite quickly, these. Although I imagine the standard edition versions of these will get released at some point. So yeah, as per usual, you get 6 films with this. And you also get a really rather nice hard box on the go, which is always nicely done. It's nice to see that they've started off with the grey this time, because they ended the Columbia Noir collection with the grey box set of the Humphrey Bogart films. So yeah, hopefully we'll be then moving forward into colour boxes in the future. So yeah, so the 6 films, I've not seen any of these yet, but I have no doubt in my mind that I'll enjoy all of them to some extent, because I've not hated any of the previous box sets, and there's only been, I think, 1 out of the 5 box sets that has had a film in it that I didn't particularly enjoy. So 1 out of of 6 times 5, whatever that is. So yeah, we're 6, 12, 18, 24. Yeah, you're talking more than 30 films and only 1 film that I've not particularly enjoyed. So yeah, that is a pretty good hit rate. So hopefully we'll at least enjoy all of these. And the first of which, from 1947, clocking in at 87 minutes long, is The Web. So this stars Edmund O'Brien, Ella Raines, William Bendix even, and Vincent Price. So yeah, Vincent Price and Edmund O'Brien we've seen plenty of times in other videos that I've done. Although I think this is the first Vincent Price role that we've had in these box sets. So yeah, that is a first, and yeah, I'm a big fan of his. And yeah, this is directed by, who is it again? Michael Gordon. Can't remember if I've seen anything from him before, but this isn't an in-depth review of each film because, like I said, I have not yet seen them. But yeah, you do typically get really rather nice artwork with these releases that are all single in their own, case or whatever, with these really nice cardboard artwork that you've got on the inside and outside. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing this one. So yeah, hopefully it will keep up the run of Vincent Price films that I've really rather enjoyed. So yeah, then from 1948 we have Larceny. It's directed by George Sherman, who I'm pretty sure I've seen stuff from before. Clocking in at 89 minutes long, stars John Payne, Joan Caulfield, Dan Dariah, and Shelley Winters. I've seen stuff from all of those apart from Joan Caulfield. Not seen anything from her before, but I'm sure she'll hopefully put in a decent performance in this. And yeah, 1948 sounds like a really rather interesting film of con men and the like. So yeah, hopefully it'll not disappoint. Shelley Winters has not disappointed in a lot of earlier roles I've seen her in. So yeah, hopefully she'll do a standout performance in that. And then from 1948 as well, clocking in at 79 minutes long, we have Kiss the Blood from My Hands. So yeah, this is a great two pair leads, Joan Fontaine and Burt Lancaster. Burt Lancaster has been in so many great films that I've seen and bought, by the way. So it's not like I'm just watching them for free or watching them on rental. I am buying a lot of his films, and a lot of his films have been great. So yeah, this is directed by Norman Foster. Again, can't remember if I've seen anything directed from him before, but like I said, this isn't a full review of the films in full. You will get an individual review of each of these films when I get around to watching them. So yeah, looking forward to that one, especially with Lancaster being in the role. So, and then from 1949, we have Abandoned. So yeah, this clocks in also at 79 minutes long and stars Dennis O'Keefe and Gail Storm, as well as Jeff Chandler and Raymond Burr. Yeah, pretty stacked cast there. Directed by Joe Newman. Again, not sure if I've seen anything from him before. But yeah, interesting thing, this is the same HD release, from what I can gather, that was featured in one of the Kino Lorber film noir box sets, the Dark Side of Cinema releases that they did. So yeah, hopefully it will still be good. But the rest of these have been, properly remastered. So, but hopefully this still looks good, despite, being around the same age as the other ones. and not quite having the same remaster attention to it. And then from 1950, clocking in 89 minutes long, the joint longest with Larceny, we have Deported, starring Marta Toran and Jeff Chandler. We've already seen Jeff Chandler in Abandoned, so yeah, but this is directed by Robert Siodmak, so yeah, hopefully it's as good as his other efforts, because he's done really great work before with the likes of The Killers and Crisscross. Crisscross also starring Burt Lancaster. I think The Killers also starred Burt Lancaster as well. But yeah, got a decent cast. This looks like a decent enough effort in terms of the premise and the like, and hopefully it stands up to viewing. So yeah, looking forward to that one, just like all the rest of these, to be honest. And finally, from 1954, we have Naked Alibi. This clocks in at 86 minutes long, so it's the third longest film out of this lot. Oh no, fourth longest, because obviously, yeah, the web is a minute longer. But still, Sterling Hayden and Gloria Graham, as well as Gene Barry. Gene Barry is the lead star in The War of the Worlds, by the way. But yeah, Sterling Hayden has been in plenty of stuff before. Not sure if I've seen anything on Gloria Graham before. But yeah, again, an interesting sounding premise, and it's directed by... It doesn't say. Usually it says directed by on the back of these, but it doesn't say. I'm sure I'll find out when it comes to actually reviewing it. Jerry Hopper. That's who it's directed by. It says it on the front. So yeah, again, looking forward to seeing that. So with these releases, you always get a massive booklet, and this is no different. 120 pages long this is. Plus you get a lot of extras on the physical releases themselves. So yeah, let's quickly talk about the what's been added into the booklet itself. So yeah, you get typical crew and cast write-ups in this to tell you who's involved in the directing and the cinematography and the like. But you also get write-ups by essay writers, if that's what you want to call them. So yeah, contents with the web, you get caught up by Iris Vivasi, as well as an interview with the director Michael Gordon by Ronald L. Davis, which was made in 1982 and 1983. Then with Larceny, you get the What He Does in the Shadows, John Payne Goes Noir by Jill Blake. And you also get Shelley Winters, The Creation of a Movie Star. Then you get Kiss the Blood Off My Hands, you get Unconventional Noir Tropes, Last Minute Title Changes, and Kiss the Blood Off My Hands by Karen Burroughs Hannisberry. And then you get Lancaster Finds Life Changed as producer, so I'm guessing he produced that film. And then with Abandoned, you get Inner City, Which May Be Your Home by Sabina Stent. And then you get Abandoned and the bootleg Baby Racket. Then with Deported, you get Homeward Bound, Film Noir and the American Dream in Exile by Sergio Angelini. And then you also get Deported on Location. This is the thing that you see with these film noirs in this roundabout period. From about 1946, 1947 onwards, you start getting a lot more on-location shooting. Not obviously interiors, they will still be done in studios, but you do see a lot more on-location shooting. So it's interesting to see films evolving as they go through the years. And then finally, Naked Alibi, you get Rudderless Sailing Sunless Seas in Naked Alibi by Walter Chaw. And then you also get Dirty Dancing, because I've read up now that with that film there's a quite a raucous dance scene which somehow did not get banned by the really rather Puritan censors at the time. And then you get United Action Means Victory, Skirmish on the Home Front, Easy to Get, A Salute to France, and The Cinematographer. All of those are short films dealing with various subjects. So yeah, looks like a really, really thick, nice, juicy book to get into. And the fact it's also talking about the short films that are included in this as well is really, really rather good. So yeah, United Action Means Victory is just basically it's about General Motors union strikes, which is weird to be saying that, but it's from 1939, clocks in at 37 minutes long. So yeah, that sounds like something that's quite interesting, to be honest. It's not something I'd expect to be on something like this, but there we go. Then we got Skirmish on the Home Front, an all-star World War II short designed to promote the US government's economic stabilisation plan. So you've got Alan Ladd and William Bendix in that short. Alan Ladd, we've talked about in other noir films, not necessarily from Indicator, but we've talked about him before. And William Bendix is obviously in one of these. He's in what is it? Yeah, The Web. So there's a bit of a link with that one. So that clocks in at 13 minutes long and is from 1944. Then you got Easy to Get, which is from 1947 and clocks in at 22 minutes long. And that's also directed by Joseph M. Newman, who I think's directed one of these films, or at least I've seen something from him that he's directed before. And that's about basically venereal diseases in the army. Bit of a weird one, but there we go. And then A Salute to France from 1944, clocking in at 36 minutes long, and that's basically, you know, bigging up the whole French contribution to World War II by the looks of things. And yeah, that's also got Burgess Meredith in that, and Claude Dauphin, who was again in one of these. Yeah, he's also in, or he or she, I don't know his gender, but they are also in Deported as well. So there's another link. And finally, in The Cinematographer from 1951, clocking in at 10 minutes long, it's directed by Jerry Hopper, who also directed Naked Alibi, and that's basically just talking about cinematography in film. More specifically, the cinematography of, who was it? Karl Strauss, who also did the cinematography for The Great Dictator, that great Charlie Chaplin film. So yeah, there's an interesting array of extras there. And then the presentations themselves, well, like I said, we've abandoned, that is basically the film, the Kino Lorber HD remaster, but the rest have had extensive work put on them. The Web, Larceny and Deported were sourced from Universal's HD restorations created from 4K scans of second generation nitrate composite fine grain prints. Kiss the Blood Off My Hands had a 2K scan of its 35mm dupe negative. Deported was sourced from Universal HD restoration, again with a 4K scan, and Naked Alibi also had a 2K scan of 35mm composite fine grain print. So yeah, they've done a lot of that, and even the shorts have been supplied in HD by, well, with the United Action Means Victory, that was sourced by the Library of Congress. Skirmish on the Home Front and A Salute to France was scanned in HD from 35mm by the US National Archives and Records Administration, or NARA, especially for this Indicator edition. That is really, really good, the fact that they've done that just for this release, which means that now those two shorts have now been preserved for practically forever now, which is always a great thing. And Easy to Get was supplied in HD courtesy of the US National Library of Medicine. So yeah, and then the cinematographer was supplied in HD by the Academy Film Archive. So yeah, they've done a great deal of work with this booklet. That's the back, by the way. And yeah, as per usual with these releases, they've got great artwork. They're all in their individual cases. They've got a whole host of extras included on them. So yeah, you've got archival audio, one of which is from Joan Fontaine. You've got Kim Newman doing audio commentary. You've got obviously you've got the shorts that we've talked about. And yeah, you've got archival video of Vincent Price's daughter in conversation. She's always interesting to listen to as well, by the way. You've also got a Film Noir Festival with Q&A with Victoria Price, Vincent Price's daughter again. Oh, that's the same thing that we were talking about just then, yeah. And then Absolute Magnetism, Lucy Bolton on Gloria Graham. And then you got Return to Europe, Christina Newland on Robert Searmack. So yeah, you got The Heel with Sex Appeal, Nick Pinkerton on Dan Dariah, who's always been a great actor, by the way. He's usually the villain, and he always does that role really well. So yeah, really pleased with this release. Cannot wait to get through all 6 of these films, because they've got actors or directors or just general premises that I really am interested in. So yeah, be interested to hear your thoughts on this release. If you've seen any of these films as well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on those. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.